Hello friends. So in this session we'll understand the concept of the boiler or the main functioning, how it works. So let's say we have a boiler. So I will make the schematic diagram of the boiler, or I can say the layout of the boiler. So the first and main component of the boiler is the actually the boiler wall. I will make it like this. This is the boiler wall, and downside there is a component called bottom ring header. This is called bottom ring header. Is connected downside of the boiler, and then actually these walls, whatever walls is shown here, these are actually the tubes of water, like this. These are the tubes of water, because in this tube water is filled, and these tubes are actually attached like this, circumferentially attached like this, and in the middle portion of these tubes coal nozzle is attached. So I will show here like this. These are the coal nozzles which are attached in between the water tubes. Coal nozzle, this is called coal nozzle. Okay, and from this coal nozzle the powdered form of the coal is thrown out. So this whole area is called furnace, because the powder form of the coal is sprayed out or thrown out from this coal nozzle, and then it burns, it releases radiation and convection current, and by that heat the water inside the water tube get heated. So these are water walls or riser tube. Water walls or riser tube. Fine. Now from this I will remove this thing because I need more. So let's see, I removed it. Okay, now from this water tube what happens next? From this water tube the heated water mixed with steam goes to the boiler drum. This is called boiler drum. So because water is highly heated, so mostly it is converted into the steam, and when it goes to the boiler drum, some part is get converted into water and some is in the form of steam. Fine. Now the steam from the boiler drum is sent to the convective superheater to superheat it. Fine. And the above this boiler some components are attached, which I have shown in the previous session. The first component is the radiative superheater, and whatever is steam is coming from the convective superheater is coming into the radiative superheater. It comes from the convective superheater. Then after this radiative superheater, it goes to the pendant superheater to regulate its temperature, and then after pendant superheater the steam finally goes to the high pressure turbine. Now from the high pressure turbine, which we have seen in the previous session, that from the high pressure turbine what we get, that is cold reheat. Now this cold reheat again sent to the reheater. That cold reheat comes to the reheater, which is mounted inside the boiler, and then this reheated steam, which is called hot reheat, then goes to the intermediate pressure turbine. Fine. Now whatever is flue gases, because here the furnace is burning, if I'll show you, here temperature is very high, here the coal is burning, the powder form of coal is burning. So the steam which is coming from this boiler, steam, not steam, that is flue gases which is coming from this boiler, so we make a path to flow these flue gases like this. Now we will again utilize these flue gases. How? First, these flue gases will go to the CSH, which is convective superheat. So as I have mentioned that from the boiler drum, steam goes to the convective superheat. So actually the steam is coming from the boiler drum, and then from this convective superheat it goes to the radiative superheater. Then again this flue gases comes to the economizer, and this economizer, in this economizer, the feed regulating station FRS, feed regulating station actually inject the water which we have to make in the steam form, that goes to the economizer, and in the economizer, with the help of the flue gases, it takes its temperature and its temperature gets increased, and then from that economizer, that hot water is thrown to the boiler drum. How? We can see here that I can show here that in this boiler drum there is one more path which is coming from economizer. Fine. Now after the economizer, the flue gases again goes to the air preheater, and which is and the air coming in the air preheater is coming from FD, forced draught fan. Fine. And then this flue gases goes to the ESP, electrostatic precipitator, and then from the ID fan, induced draught fan, it thrown out from the boiler. So we can understand here that we have highly utilized the flue gases of the boiler by making its path very efficient. One more thing we can see here, that there is a container downside the boiler, and from this container there is a component called clinker grinder, and then after that there is a component which is called AHP, ash holding plant. So it is actually the bathtub, whatever coal is burned, that is contained in the bathtub, then it goes to the clinker grinder, and then it goes to the AHP, which is called ash holding plant, means the ash is contained in the ash holding plant. One more thing we have to understand that because we have a boiler drum here and some water remains in this, then that water again thrown from the circulating pump to the water tubes to again heat. I mean, it is a complete cycle. In this complete cycle, a steam formation is there, the involvement of flue gas is there, so everything is utilized here. So this is the whole functioning of the boiler, or we can say this is the layout of boiler. Fine. One very interesting thing I want to show you, that that if you will see it, if you will see this boiler from the top, let's say you are seeing this boiler from the top, then what you will see, this will be something like this. It will be circular or square shape. So water tubes are attached to the walls. Okay, and let's say these are the coal nozzle. These are the coal nozzle, and coal nozzle just throw the, let us make it interesting, it throws the powdered form of coal, and when it fired, then there is a circulating fireball. It's called fireball. It means that the fire is dancing in circular manner. It actually, it circulates like this, and the radiation emitted from this circulating ball of fire heat this water tubes, and water get converted into steam, and it is sent to the boiler drum. Then again the whole cycle starts. So this is the functioning of the boiler.